How does a kid from the tough streets of Compton, California, a neighborhood gripped by violence and adversity, become one of the most prolific scorers in the history of basketball? James Harden was born August 26, 1989, against long odds, a dangerous environment, asthma, doubts about whether he could be great given what his body could do. But James Harden didn't merely survive, he thrived. It's a journey of craftsmen eyeing through hardship and burgeoning competition oozing onto NBA courts like no one else ever have. How did a boy who had once had a hard time keeping up on the court become an NBA MVP? A 10-time All-Star and one of the most creative offensive forces the game has ever seen. Join us on this journey into the life and legacy of James Harden, a story of talent, perseverance, and a player who redefined the art of scoring in basketball. James Harden's rocket trajectory was built on resilience and grit, but you can't appreciate his greatness without knowing the obstacles he overcame early on. His path to the NBA was never a certainty. Rather, it was something of a miracle. His mother, who suffered several miscarriages before his birth, aptly nicknamed him Lucky. Raised in Compton during the turbulent violence of the 1990s, Harden had the detritus of violence and the chaos of the drug wars. To avoid the traps of his surroundings, James found basketball. But the journey wasn't smooth. Asthma kept him from being able to keep up physically, and his love of fast food left him in the dust behind his peers. But he was determined, driven by the love of the game. Harden devoted night after night to honing his ball handling and shooting, practicing through pain to get better. He worked hard, and in high school, a late growth spurt shot him up to 6'6", and he became a force to be reckoned with on the court. And in his senior year, he was named a McDonald's All-American. Continuing to strive toward the pinnacle during his years in high school, Harden lifted his ambitions once more when he joined Arizona State University. The difficulties of his youth made him ready to excel at the college level, and he did not hesitate to make his presence felt. As a sophomore, Harden averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. It was clear that Harden was more than just a talented scorer. He oozed skill, basketball IQ, and leadership as well. His outstanding performance earned him the title of Conference Player of the Year and consensus first-team All-American honors. Despite these accolades, questions about his physique and athleticism lingered as he entered the 2009 NBA draft. Many scouts doubted whether his slightly stocky build and perceived lack of explosiveness would translate to success at the professional level. However, Harden silenced the skeptics with an impressive NBA draft combined performance where he showcased his agility and explosiveness. This turning point in his career caught the attention of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who selected him as the 3rd overall pick, setting the stage for his rise to NBA stardom.
With the 3rd pick in the 2009 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
He joined the Thunder, one of the league's most promising young teams at the time, with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Serge Ibaka. Unlike many high draft picks, James didn't have to suffer through years of rebuilding. His first season, the Thunder won 50 games, and by his second, the Western Conference Finals. Harden truly broke out in his 3rd season. Coming off the bench, he dominated opposing second units, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. His stellar performance earned him the 6th Man of the Year award, and comparisons to Manu Ginobili started pouring in. OKC would blast through the Western Conference in the playoffs, losing only 3 games on the way to the 2012 NBA Finals. But when matched up against the Miami Heat with LeBron James, Harden faltered. His ineffectiveness shooting and on defense led him to get scapegoated for OKC's loss. Harden had drawn intense criticism at just 22, but few seemed to factor in his youth, nor the ball-dominant style of both Durant and Westbrook, as well as the youth of the team. Despite their promising future, OKC's ownership didn't want to pay the luxury tax and lowballed Harden during contract negotiations. When he asked for $60 million over 4 years, the team refused to go above $55 million. This led to Harden's trade to the Houston Rockets, a decision now regarded as one of the worst financial moves in NBA history. In Houston, doubts lingered about whether Harden could lead a team as its primary star. Those doubts were quickly silenced. In his Rockets debut, Harden exploded for 37 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals. 2 days later, he scored 45 points, making history as the first player to score 82 points in his first 2 games with a new team. Coach Kevin McHale gave Harden full control of the offense, and he blossomed into an all-star, averaging 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in his first season with Houston. The Rockets made the playoffs for the first time in 4 years, and Harden established himself as one of the league's elite scorers. In 2014, Houston paired Harden with Dwight Howard, hoping to form a championship-contending duo. However, their on-court chemistry was shaky. Harden thrived in transition and pick-and-roll plays, while Howard wanted post-up opportunities. Despite their differences, it was clear that Harden was the team's best player, showcasing his unique blend of skill, creativity, and instinct. Over the years, Harden refined every aspect of his offensive game. His Euro step, once clunky, became a methodical and deadly weapon. He mastered the art of drawing fouls, frustrating defenders with his ability to tangle their arms and get to the free throw line. By 2015, Harden was an MVP finalist and the Players Association MVP. Despite a dysfunctional relationship with Howard, Harden continued to dominate offensively, setting the stage for Houston's next big evolution. In 2017, the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni as head coach and fully embraced analytics-driven basketball. The team began launching threes at a record-breaking pace, with Harden at the center of it all. Playing as the point guard in D'Antoni's system, Harden racked up historic numbers, including multiple 50-point triple-doubles. Harden's offensive brilliance earned him his first MV award in 2018. The Rockets also achieved a franchise-best 60 wins and came within 1 game of beating the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs. However, injuries and poor shooting in Game 7 dashed their championship hopes. Harden reached an even higher plane in the 2019 season, with injuries ravaging the Rockets roster. He had to shoulder so much of the responsibility, scoring 30 or more points in 32 straight games. That season, he averaged 36.1 points per game, something that only Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan had done. Harden's step-back three-pointer became his signature move, so effective that defenders resorted to guarding him from behind. Though he continued to break records, the Rockets once again fell short in the playoffs, and Harden's critics pointed to his post-season struggles. James Harden's style of play isn't for everyone. His frequent foul-drawing, isolation-heavy offense and occasional defensive lapses have made him a divisive figure among fans. But love him or hate him, Harden's impact on basketball is undeniable. Few players in NBA history have forced teams to rethink defensive strategies the way Harden did. His ability to score, facilitate, and manipulate defenses was revolutionary, making him one of the most influential offensive players ever. While his lack of playoff success and polarizing style might keep him from being universally adored, Harden's prime years with the Rockets will always be remembered as a masterclass in offensive basketball.